And it sounds so strange to say it, but we as human beings are afraid of joy.
So it's so strange, especially coming from someone who studied shame and fear and all these really hard emotions for for 22 years. Joy is actually the most vulnerable of all human emotions because we are so afraid that if we let ourselves lean into it, that we will get sucker punched by hurt and pain and disappointment.
Yeah.
So in those moments, I always, for parents, when you're staying over your kid and you're like, oh my God, I love you like I didn't know was possible. And then you picture something horrible happening to your child. Or, the first time I got to meet Oprah, I was flying out and I was like, there's no way this plane makes it. Like there's no, so
crazy.
So what we do in order to protect ourselves is we dress rehearse tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
When something great happens, we think about, okay, I'm not going to enjoy this because the other shoe's going to drop and I don't want to get blindsided by pain.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really, I think the most tragic thing I've seen, Ryan, probably in the last 5 years especially, is so many people now choosing to live disappointed rather than live joyful and risk feeling disappointed.
And so they're choosing disappointment because they're afraid. Why are they?
Whether it be like in their jobs or marriage.
It doesn't matter. It's
settling?
like, I'm never going to get too excited about anything or too upset about anything.
I see. Just, right in the middle.
But then you miss the mountaintops.
Let me break it down to something, that is less complicated in a way. I had dogs in relationships that when we broke up would always go away, but I didn't have my own dog. Why? Because I was afraid I'd lose my dog someday. So I didn't get a dog. Right?
Yes, that makes sense to me, actually, 100%. Like, I don't need one more thing to love and lose.
Exactly. So I thought, why? Like, I'm sure it'd be great for the 12 years, but then there's that day where I have to say goodbye to that. And I don't want that. I don't want to feel that. And that kept me from, I used that as an analogy, but it was true. But I think I've done that in relationships too. It's like, I can't dive in because this will, we'll end up breaking up and that hurts and that sucks. And I hate that.
Yeah, and that's why I always say, the brokenhearted are the bravest among us because they had the courage to love.
Right.
They put themselves out there and they got their hearts broken. But, there's nothing really more powerful and beautiful than a skinned and bruised heart.